Hello and welcome. This is Nikhil Raj, Course Director for tutormash.com. In this session, we will be covering the topic Activity Codes. So Activity Codes is a very useful tool that you can use in Primavera. So first of all, I'll tell you what is the concept behind Activity Codes. Look at this example. There is two WBS, that is first floor or second floor. You can either call it as a deliverables. So under first floor you can see certain activities, and same activities you can see under second floor as well. Okay, so under first floor you can see marking of slab, wall reinforcement, internal wall shuttering, slab reinforcement, and so on. Now if your project manager is asking you to group only reinforcement activities, then you have to group all reinforcement activity. Similarly, if your project manager is asking you to group only concrete activities, you have to group the concrete activities. Normally we group reinforcement activities and concrete activities in order to find out how much tons of reinforcement required and how much m cube of concrete required. So in such cases you need to create activity codes. So here you can see when you group it based on reinforcement activities, program is showing all the reinforcement activities: wall reinforcement in first floor and second floor, slab reinforcement in first floor and second floor, and when it comes to concrete activities, wall and slab concrete of first floor and second floor. So we'll see how to group it based on your requirement. So to do activity codes, there are 4 simple steps. That is, the first step is to create the codes, second step is to add columns, third step to assign codes to activities, and the final and fourth step is group and sort. We will see how to function this step in Primavera. So let's open. So in this project there are a lot of activities here. Now I want to group all the reinforcement activities. So here you can see reinforcement for footing, which is under substructural work, and under structural work you can see slab reinforcement in basement. So I want to group all these reinforcement activities under reinforcement activities. Similarly, all the concrete activities under concrete activities. So we'll see how to do this. So the first step is to create the code. So how you create the code? So go to Enterprise, click Activity Codes, then go to Projects, then go to Modify and create a new activity code or the major classification, that is activity type. Okay, so this is the major classification activity type. After creating this classification you can close it. Now under activity type there are 2 sub classification, that is reinforcement activities, which you can code it as RFT, and the next one is concrete activity. You can code it as CON. Description you can give concrete activity. That's it. So you have created the codes. Now you can close it. So the first step is done. Now you can go for the next step, that is to create columns. So how you create columns? Go to the activity window, right click here, go to columns, add columns from activity codes project. Here you can see activity type. You just double click so that it comes to the selected option, put it down and press OK. So here you can see a new column, that is activity type. Now you have to go for the third step, that is assign codes to the activities. So how you do that? You have to find out the reinforcement activity first. So here is one reinforcement activity, so this has to come under reinforcement activity. So double click here, so nothing is showing up here. So right click, go to filter by and say all values. Now choose RFT. Okay, now you have assigned code RFT to reinforcement of footing. Same way you have to do for rest of the reinforcement activities. So here slab reinforcement, double click and assign RFT. Alright, so you have to do the same step for all reinforcement activities. So it's a pretty difficult task to find out all the reinforcement activities out of some 10,000 activities. So there is an easy way to do that. You have to filter the reinforcement activities. So go to filter by, go to customize and create a new filter. You can name the filter as reinforcement activities, and you can give the condition where all activity name that contains reinforcement. When you give this condition, program will filter all the activities that you have named as reinforcement, that contains reinforcement. Press OK, check it. After that, press apply. You can see program filtered all reinforcement activities. Now there is another easy way to assign the code. You can choose the first one like this, and you can go down and choose the last activity using shift key. Press shift key and click here. Alright, now right click again and say fill down. So program will copy all the codes like this. Similar step you have to do for concrete activities. So go to filter again, customize, say all activities and press OK. Look at the concrete activities. So there are a lot of concrete activities here. Concrete for footing is there, so you can double click, assign concrete. So when you come to concrete, again one concrete activity is here. So this is concrete, and when it comes to ground floor, it is not concrete, it is concreting. Now you have to create two filters. The first filter says where activity name that contains concrete. You can give a name concrete and press OK. Check it and press apply. You can see program filtered all the activities which contains concrete. Now again you have to create one more filter saying where activity name that contains concreting. Okay, name the filter concreting. Press OK. See, two filters are selected and press apply. Now program has selected all the activities that contains concreting. Now use the fill down command. How? Select the first one. Using shift key, select the last one, right click and say fill down. Now program has assigned all the codes to concerned activities. You can go back to filters and say all activities. So what you have done, you have assigned the codes to the activities. The last and final step is to group and sort based on the codes. So how you group and sort? Right click again, go to group and sort and say group by activity type. You can see activity type here and press apply. Press OK. Now you can see program has grouped all the activities based on reinforcement activity and concrete activity, and there are activities which doesn't have any type. So this is how we do it. So if you want to go back to the WBS grouping, you can right click here, group and sort. You can say group by WBS and press apply. So this is how we group it based on the requirement. Activity codes is a very important and very useful tool. Now you have seen how to use it. So hope you understood this session, and thanks for watching.